Hi guys! Welcome to our YouTube channel, our BookTube channel. My name's Asia.
I'm Kristen.
And we're gonna do a
BookTube Newbie Tag questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Got a little wine. Take a little
Yes.
sip. And we're off. First question, why did you start this channel?
Because we need something to do. We wanted to put our book passions out there for the world.
Yes, we have done a fair amount of reading and, you know, let's talk about it. Basically, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to the BookTube?
My love for, what's it called? Murder mysteries. Because I feel like BookTube is a lot of, what's it called?
Young adult.
Young adult and sci-fi. And I read that, but that's not my favorite.
Well, yeah, we have some ideas. We have some, you know, videos in mind that we can do, but ultimately, I feel like we have fun personalities. We can bring that to the table. And yes, we are going to bring a variety of topics, a variety of books that some people may not be talking about.
True.
All right. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Like Asia said, something to do.
Something to do, just talking about books and stuff that we love that me and Kristen share, but like a lot of our other friends don't like really care about. They don't want to hear us talk about books and stuff, so we're gonna talk about it with you guys.
There's your dog.
That's Charlie.
I'm excited about something different as well. I feel like I get a lot of questions about the things I read, and it's you know, one-stop shop.
Pet him. Everybody's gonna see you not pet
Oh
him.
my God. There's a dog. All right.
All right, get down, Charlie.
Why do you love reading?
Ooh. I love reading because it's like escapism. Like, it takes you into a different world. I feel like reading, compared to like watching a movie, like you just kind of create the world in your head, and it just, I don't know, just a chance to escape. Like, I love reading. And I feel sad when people say they don't read books. I'm like, how could you not
Why
read
do you
books?
feel sad?
Because it's just like they don't know what they're missing out on.
Well, I love reading because I like all things entertainment. I watch a lot of shows, watch a lot of movies. Well, I don't even watch movies like that. Watch a lot of shows.
I used to.
I used to watch a lot of movies, listen to a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of YouTubes. I just like things to entertain me. So reading is another thing to entertain me. I guess I'll be bored. What book or series got you into reading?
Babysitter's Club.
Ew.
I swear to God, Babysitter's Club. When I was younger, like, my cousin had all of the Babysitter's Club, and I read them like, to me it felt like I read them all in one weekend, but it was probably like a week. Like, it was summertime, so.
How many are there?
It was a lot. Like, it was a lot. Like, Babysitter's Club, they had a whole series of books, and I remember like they had a little movie, or was it a show? I don't know.
It was a show.
Was it a show? But I remember seeing the thing, and like I read the books, and I was just like, I just read them, kept reading them, and I've always read. It was like a stint in my life where I had it, like, I think probably like during high school, a little bit after, like I stopped reading, because you know when you're in high school they make you read all those books that you don't really care for. But after that, like, I got back on it and just never let it go.
So what got me
What book or series?
reading? So I have a two-parter. So for me, adult life, what got me into reading is Harry Potter. And that's kind of backwards because it's a children's book or
Right.
a young adult book. But I actually used it to kind of get me back into reading. So I was in college when I actually went through the series. And yeah, I wanted to read more leisurely, but everything presented was like, you have to read this for class. You have to read this for this. So it was kind of like, I know I enjoy the movies. I think I saw the first two movies at the time. And then I was just like, you know what? Let's see what this is about. And that's what kind of got me back into reading. When I was younger, I used to like those little like diary books. I can't remember the name of them, but kind of like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but not that, because that was when we were older.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of them, but one of like it was like those little
Did
books
you used to read like Judy Blume and stuff?
No.
Remember Judy Blume?
I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a book where it came with a locket.
Girl, a lot of books came with lockets.
Well, I used to like the Scholastic book fairs and everything, and I used to buy all those books. So it was like a book. It was like some girl's it was like a diary book, and she was talking about her siblings and all that. I can't even remember the name of it, but I used to like those. And I used to like the Wayward Stories.
Never heard of it.
It was like Wayward Story. Maybe I should have looked it up before we talked about it. Wayward Stories from Wayward High School.
It sounds familiar.
And it was like a collection of stories about the different students. And it was like a crazy high school. You don't remember that?
No. All I know is Babysitter's Club, Goosebumps. What else I used to read? And then after that, like, I just remember stuff like that they made us read at school, like Anne Frank and The Great Gatsby and stuff like that. Yeah, we had to read Anne Frank.
We had to read The Great Gatsby. I didn't read none of the books.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I read them.
Okay. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel would be the hardest to overcome? Talking to a camera.
Talking to a camera and
being interesting.
I feel like I'm interesting. I feel like the biggest challenge probably like staying consistent and
that too.
Yeah.
Just kind of trying to make sure the content is fresh and new and exciting. That as well. So I don't know. We'll see.
That too.
We're working on it.
But I feel like whatever we like, we just gonna do what we like to do.
When did you start reading?
As a baby. Not a baby, but you know what I mean. Like 5.
So 2 parts. Yes, I was reading when I was like in elementary school, like middle school, whatnot. But I took a long break, and that was during high school, college, and I started back reading in college. Then I stopped. And I started reading more consistently probably just a couple years ago. When we started.
Same.
Look!
I feel like, the same exact thing. Like I was reading in like elementary, middle school and all of that. And then when you got to high school and college, like you really don't have time to read what you want to read. You just gotta, like focus on school. And after that, like I got back into it, so.
Well, look at us. Where do you read? At work?
At work, on my lunch break. Now that I have a job that I can't like really like sit and read no more, I gotta like make time to read. So sometimes I read like before I go to bed. Like now I try to read before I go to bed, but most of the time it's either on my lunch break or whenever I have free time at work.
Yeah, I'll read at work mostly, but if that doesn't work, I try to read at home. So instead of watching a show, like I said, I like all things media. Instead of watching a show for the evening or whatnot, while my husband is watching like a game or something, I'll go ahead and pull out a book if I can. And last question, what kind of books do you like to read? I think you touched on it.
So I like to read. I like mysteries. I like detective, police type of things.
Okay.
I don't even know what the genre's called. Thrillers. I like
psychological thrillers.
Psychological thrillers. I like I'm not gonna say a romance, because I don't read like them romance books like that be at the supermarket, but I do like
what books are you finding at the supermarket?
You know them romance
Kroger
books
does
at the
have
supermarket.
books.
Yeah, like Danielle Steele. You know what I'm talking about?
That's romance?
Yeah, I think so. I never read none of her books, but I always see them. But anyway, like stuff like that. And I like self-help books too. I like self-development books. And just good like novels, stories. I don't know.
I like some of everything. So I do like psychological thrillers. I feel like that's probably the most of what I've read. But I enjoy a good fantasy. I enjoy a good romance. I enjoy a good story, I just like a good story. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific genre, but ultimately I do stick to kind of fiction. I will get a nonfiction here and there, but predominantly fiction. If I have to look at what I've read the most of, it would probably be between fantasy and psychological thrillers or detective, or I don't want to say detective because I feel like detective is like more procedural.
Yeah, but like I know what you mean. Like like
someone died.
Detective books. And
yeah,
like
someone died, someone killed,
someone
what's going on?
It's usually some law enforcement involved, but yeah.
But I do like kind of heartwarming stories. I don't like to read and cry, but you get some of those where you kind of get teary-eyed.
I haven't cried for a book in a while.
What book?
What book did last book I cried at?
I have to look at my books.
Yeah.
I feel like I cried this year. I got teary-eyed. I got teary-eyed on A Man Called Uwe.
I think I did then too, but that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Or the
So,
year before.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
But yeah, I haven't. It's been a while since a book like made me feel
So I have
those
to
type of feels.
look at my books this year. That's a good question to add. What book did you cry on? I got teary-eyed on What Alice Forgot a little bit. You didn't read that. Did I get teary-eyed on Little Fires?
Charlie
No.
sneeze.
I got angry on the come up.
Oh, really? See, I didn't read that either.
Cause I didn't get teary-eyed though. I did get teary-eyed. I got teary-eyed a little bit on one little part of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
I don't remember.
That was it.
Yeah, I didn't cry in no books this year. Like,
You should have read Daisy Jones in the Six.
I know.
See, I feel like
I
I've read
eventually
more
will read it.
books that were published this year than she did, but we usually read older.
how many books you read this year so far? Mine say 15.
23.
And really, it should be 14 because I ain't finished Cersei, but I put that I finished on there.
Yeah, so yeah, that's another thing we've read. We try to read at least a book a month.
At least.
But I've been doing better apparently than Asia. I've got 23 under my belt. My goal is 30.
Oh, look at you. So
At least two a month.
Set it to 24. Lower your standards.
No, because last year I read, I think, 25.
Really?
Or 20. I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
so we try to kind of be consistent on at least one book a month.
Mm-hmm.
But so we can't really say we're avid readers. Is that like considered an
I feel
avid
like,
reader?
because you know why I feel like we're avid readers, because everybody I talk to, they don't be reading. Like,
Yeah.
we be reading. So it's like, but I know there's a community of people out there who
That
do
read like a book a week.
Yeah, that be
Oh,
reading
I
like
read
a
this
lot,
in 2
so-
days. I read this in 3 days. I'm like,
Yeah, I wish I had time.
I've read a book in 3 days.
I have too, back in the day when
I
I
had
was
to
in
force
Babysitter's
myself.
Club.
So I read this year.
Really?
Boo
What?
boo. I read American Spy and like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because you was forced to, because
I didn't want to pay a library fee.
yeah. I gotta return Dark Places. It's overdue. My library fee gonna be like $12 because it's already
yeah.
at $7.
So I guess we could talk about the types of books that we are going to try to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So we aren't really stuck on like the hot new books. Because a lot of times we get a lot of library books, they aren't available or it takes forever to get them. And then like we said, we haven't been reading consistently. So we're trying to get some of the kind of bestseller books, but they could be like 5 years old. They could be 10 years old. We don't know.
Yeah. So even if we do like book reviews and stuff, it might be books that y'all have read like last year, but our commentary is new. So take it.
Yep. But I feel like I've read a good amount of books that were published this year.
Yeah, we did. We read like a lot of
No,
like,
I
new
did.
books. No, we read a lot of new books. We should review Queenie.
So yeah, so we could talk about the books we read this year that were published this year. So we read Queenie. I read On the Come Up. Was City of Girls this year? I read City of Girls.
I didn't read that. We both read My Sister the Serial Killer.
That was this year?
I don't know, but
That's
it's new-ish.
Nah.
Okay, whatever.
We read
When did Evelyn Hugo come out?
last year. No, 2017.
Okay, well,
And I read Daisy Jones and the Six. And that was this year. I feel like I'm missing one more that I read this year. American Spy.
I read
was
that.
published this year.
I read that. That was on Obama's book list too. Did you see it?
No. Well, I think I took a picture.
Yeah,
of
he
his
had a book list and it was on there.
Other than that, everything is probably that we've read this year or that neither of us have read this year is a little bit older. Not so old, but we don't really do classics. I don't anyway.
No,
But
there are some books that I want to read. Like I have a bunch of Toni Morrison books I need to read. Some like just really like Black authors that I want to like. I need to feel like I just need to go ahead and read.
I think I need to do better about Black authors.
You do. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
Okay. But I like that's another thing. I like a good quirky story. Like
Black people aren't quirky. Is what you're trying to say?
no, not trying to say that. I feel like more recent content is better. And I feel like that way about shows and movies as well. I feel like because we were coming up from a time that Black people media wasn't really like, you know,
in the forefront.
expansive. Yeah. So you had to kind of do the stereotypical things that, can kind of get people, well, not even people to watch, but producers and studios to purchase, and invest in.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I feel like that's the same way with books. I mean, you had the Toni Morrisons, you had the Terry McMillans, you had the people like doing content, but ultimately like only a select few were like best selling. And then it was still kind of like those rough and tough Black stories. I like, you know,
you
like,
want to hear more modern stories?
Yeah, and that's what I liked about Queenie. Like, it was a more modern, quirky, type story, but I have my thoughts on Queenie. We can talk about that.
Yeah, we should do a video on that.
But yeah, do we want to find some more questions?
I don't know. I want to look for some more.
You want to ask me some questions? I can ask you some questions. I don't know. We going now.
Questions about what? About books? I mean, obviously about books, but like, yeah, look up some more questions. I won't. We could just be raw. We could be raw BookTuber.
Right. The real and the raw, because we don't know how to edit.
Right.
Okay, what was the last book you read?
Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. Is it Gillian Flynn? Yeah, Dark Places. Y'all know her.
So yeah, Dark Places,
which was really good. I enjoyed it. That's the third book that I've read by Gillian.
That's only the second book, but I did see Gone Girl, and I enjoyed the movie.
The movie was alright.
I guess I have to read the book. What was the last bad book you read? That's a good question.
The last book that I read like all the way through and didn't like it.
I got one. I feel like you didn't like that.
I was indifferent about that. It's not that I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it ended.
I got my answer.
So you do your answer.
A Simple Favor. Okay, so this book deceived me. When was this? So 2017. So I'm late, but this book has been a movie now with Blake Lively and what's her face? Anna Kendrick, yeah. So it was bad. It was.
The movie, I saw the movie, I didn't read the book, but
like,
the movie was like a little like, okay.
And it wasn't even the writing style that was bad. It was just the plot. It was, oh my God. If you read that, you know.
Or if you've seen the movie.
You know. But that's the last bad book I successfully finished.
Go to my Goodreads.
Oh my God.
Let me see what I read. I can't remember because I want to see what book I read that was like bad.
With my friends.
How many friends you got?
I only got one friend.
I got like 3 or 4. Oh yeah, we can put our Goodreads in the thing. But I think that's all I read
this year. Then you gonna have to dig deeper into your data bank.
Well, the book that I liked the least this year was probably My Sister the Serial Killer. And I think it's because I had like higher expectations for it. But it was good. Like, and it was written well, but I just didn't like the way it ended, and it kind of was like
Okay. Back to, I get back to questions. Has a book ever influenced you greatly?
Yeah, I think a lot of books have influenced me.
You gonna talk about like real books though?
What you mean?
Like, James Baldwin and what's his name? The Alchemist and all that.
No, I didn't even like The Alchemist. I couldn't get into. I read like The Alchemist a little bit, and I didn't finish it, but I have it.
So we can read it.
Yeah,
and we can talk about it.
You know, the last book that I read that influenced me, that made me like really like stuck in my brain, was More Than Enough by Elaine Welteroth. Like because she's the same age as us, like everything she's talking about, she's a year older than us. Than me, you old. So y'all probably the same age.
Oh well.
But
we behind in life apparently.
Yeah, no, her like story, because everything she was talking about was like so relatable. I was like, girl, I be going through that too with these men, like stuff like that.
Oh, she talking
like,
about men?
Yeah, she talking about her like boyfriends and like abusive relationships, like all types of stuff, and like her career, like everything she was talking about was really relatable, and like it just made you feel like what she has or the kind of career she's built is tangible, like for anybody type of thing. So that's probably the last book I read that was like a big influence on me.
Well, the book that influenced me greatly is Harry Potter.
I'm done.
No, because look, I said it got me back into reading. It got me back excited about reading. It got me excited about a lot of things. Because one, it was an expansive world. Like everyone knows Harry Potter is great. But it's just like, I don't know, it got me excited about things.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's influence, you know?
Yeah.
No. I was excited about reading. I was excited about the movies. I like purchase like things. I don't know. Other than that, like if you talk about a self-help book, or like a nonfiction book.
But that was just the last book I read, period, that like had the biggest influence on me.
I haven't read too many nonfiction, so that is something I plan to work on.
You need to read it.
But you know what? Eat, Pray, Love. Even though people like it has mixed reception, I feel like the book was like great.
So I never read. You know, I never read the book.
I thought you read the book. We read the book.
Oh yeah, we did read the book. But it was after I had saw the movie. So even like, he's gonna force you to. Yeah, but even though I read the book, the movie is what sticks out in my mind, like because it's what. But the movie was good. I like. So you saw the movie after you read the book, and that's why you don't like it. So when I saw that movie, I was like, yes, girl.
I think
leave
that
my
was
husband.
I'm not to say it influenced me, but I think it put some food for thought for me. Just ultimately about like investing in yourself and doing what you can do to kind of just know yourself and know, you know, your worth, and ultimately like it leading to, you know, other opportunities, which in her case was love.
Yeah.
But and I started the Happiness Project, and that seemed like it was gonna help
influence you, but it didn't.
Yeah. No, I didn't finish it, so it was cute. Okay. What's your favorite book?
You know, when somebody would have asked me this question maybe like 10 years ago, I would have said The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, because that's what I forgot to mention earlier. That was the book that got me excited. So when I was like in middle school, like junior high school, like 7th and 8th grade, my teacher, Miss Roth, my English teacher at Frederick Douglass Academy, she had us reading. I don't know, but she had us reading like the books that I feel like we read House on Mango Street. I love that book. That book got me excited for like reading. The Outsiders got me excited, and then we read shit like The Chocolate War, but I ain't really. You read that? You remember Chocolate War? But anyway, or in like Lord of the Flies, we had to read that. But like the House on Mango Street, I remember, and The Outsiders were like my 2 favorite books. But as of today, that was like when I was in 7th grade. I don't have I read too many books that have like a favorite book, and there's no book that I want to read again. Like once I read a book, that's it. I'm not gonna read it again unless it's like a
that is
self-development
something
book.
I want to kind of work on.
What, reading books again? So yeah, I feel like it's worth revisiting certain books because you do like you get something out of it each time, but. It's hard for me to read a book that I've read already because I want to skip to the parts that I know it's gonna be good.
Okay, so I do that with all media. Like it's hard for me to watch movies I've watched.
I can watch a movie.
It's hard for me to watch shows. Like I have to be introducing somebody to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say it with me, Harry Potter.
I mean, girl, she loves
it's the best
Harry
book
Potter.
ever.
Relax.
Okay.
It's not.
Favorite book series?
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series.
Okay, that is a close runner-up to Harry Potter.
Okay.
Harry Potter is like, oh my God, it has everything. It has love. It has, drama. It has death. It has it has undertones.
Okay.
So much you can learn from it. Who is your favorite author?
Sound Justice and Eros, probably.
Okay, so I don't know.
Yeah. That's hard to answer.
I mean, I could say J.K. Rowling, but I mean,
she ain't wrote nothing but Harry Potter.
No, she has.
I know. She
wrote a notebook, but that wasn't that good. I mean, it was okay. I don't know, because I feel like, okay, so besides the plot, I feel like there's a lot of talented authors that kind of have a way of telling a story.
I really like James Baldwin too, and even I've only read 3 of his books, but he's a good story. Like his novels, like the fiction, and the thing is, I read his fiction books, 2 of his fiction books, and I love them. Even though they're what's it called, old timey black stuff, but I think you would because the story is.
I want to read it. We can talk about it.
But his nonfiction book, I tried to read The Fire Next Time, and I couldn't I wasn't in the right mind states. But his writing is really, really good. Let me look. Good.
Okay, so I'll say my favorite author this year. We could do that. So my favorite author this year.
I can't wait till what's her name, the lady who wrote Queenie, since that was her first book. I would like to see like what she has coming, because that was a good first book.
Question.
Yeah, that was a good first book though.
So I would say my favorite. Oh, that's hard because I read a lot of good books this year. My favorite author. Okay, my favorite. Let's say my favorite up and coming. My favorite up and I'm not even gonna say her. My favorite up and coming author is probably Taylor Jenkins Reid.
But she's not even up and coming. She's here. She's like I feel like she's established. You don't think so? She has a lot of books.
She only has 3.
No, she doesn't. She has more than that.
Pause. We're gonna check.
We're gonna edit this out. See?
Okay.
She's got a lot of books.
Some of these are like she contributed.
Okay. But like she has a lot of books that she's written.
Okay, let's change that then. Well, my favorite author this year, I read 2 of her books this year. So Taylor, I'm gonna say Taylor Jenkins Reid.
I can see that. I like her because, like you said before, her writing style differs with each book. Like she doesn't have like one specific like style.
And it's like, yeah, that can be bad, but I think she does it based necessarily off the story. Yeah. Like the story has to be told a specific way.
Yeah, she does it well.
Okay, back to the question. Oh. What book do you wish had a series? That's hard.
Queenie. I want to see what happened. I do. I liked it. The more I think about it, the more I liked it. But
I'm just gonna go off of the books this year because because I can't, because I feel like it had a complete ending. I was gonna say A Man Called Uwe. Yeah, that's my other favorite. So okay, Frederick Blankman, however you say his name. I think he's a good author.
Yeah,
I like how.
Well, I only read one of his books.
Well, I've read 2 of his books, but I kind of like how he tells stories. He tells stories in that quirky kind of way that I enjoy, and it's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of funny. He's very funny. He's very humorous in his writing. And Uwe, however you say it, it doesn't need a series, but I just like how he writes. So ultimately, I think the books that he does have that are series, like he has a sequel to a couple of his books. I think those are the stories that have the series. I haven't read those though, but I like, that could be number 2 for my other for the other question. Okay, what book do you wish didn't have a sequel? Someone put Twilight.
Not Twilight.
I didn't read Twilight, but I couldn't get through it. So hey, I agree.
There's nothing I've read that was a series. I haven't read many series anyway, but everything that had a series that I read, I liked. So, and I feel like it needed, like Hunger Games. That was the bomb series.
Maze Runner. I read that. I'm not gonna say it didn't need to be a series because it was kind of like, what's going on? But it wasn't as good as people say, but it was good. Like it was like a B+, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't an A+, you know?
Right.
How long does it take you to read a book? Depends on the book.
Yeah. And what I got going on in life.
So I have 2 kids, 2 boys.
I have a dog, but my life gets busy too.
2 boys. One is 4. One is 1.5. And so it's very difficult for me to read at home and read often. So ultimately, if it's a good book and I got a lot of downtime at work and I don't have a lot of shows to catch up on, I can read a book in a week. Or if I have like in my head told myself I need to finish this by this date, I can kind of force myself. I can create the time. And it's kind of like you invest the time in what you want to.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about,
and if a book is really good, like you can finish it really fast.
Okay. Do you like when books become movies?
Sometimes, depending if they do the movie right.
Yeah, I do. I like to see the visualization. Okay, so
that's it. We just wanted to introduce you guys to our channel and what is gonna be going on, and honestly, we're just gonna be going with the flow and see what happens and filming videos.
See what happens. See what happens.
His little pink thing is out.
Oh my god.
Charlie looking like, why you
all right, well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Hopefully, you know,
like, comment, subscribe. That's what they be saying.
Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the bell, because that's the new thing, right?
Notification, yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
That's
bye.
Bye.